Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha, HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you Achion pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. To the hopeful elect, 144,000, shalom. And the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days, shalom as well. It's the brother Dama Al-Gabar with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and this is going to be a lesson, Lord willing, straight to the point, as far as us coming and serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That is no secret, and that you shouldn't be deceived or misled by any of these other so-called prosperous community building based 501c3 chartered, save all Israel, come as you are type of Israelites, spirit, to know that when you come to serve the Lord, you have to, prepare your soul for temptation. All right. And understand that this is not going to be a cakewalk. You're not going to come and serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and come into all type of riches and money, and your life is going to change completely for the better. It's just going to be blessings on blessings. And I say that in a carnal way. It's not going to be blessings upon blessings in the sense of you're going to become wealthy and, you're going to receive all this love and acclaim and praise from the world. And it's just going to be some easy cakewalk. That's just not the truth. All right. Coming to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you're constantly being tempted. You're constantly being chastened. You're constantly, going to be in a lower state than of a higher state. The Lord will give you a nice equal balance, but it's going to be more, more abasement than aboundment, which you should be 100% content with that, and know that the Lord's not going to put anything on you that you can't handle. The Lord's not going to have you completely and utterly desolate, but, you should expect to get your daily bread, to have a roof over your head, to have a job, to have a car. The Lord's going to give you exactly what you need, and a lot of it is going to be, just enough. Sometimes you'll have a little bit more. Sometimes you'll have a little bit less. Hey, and sometimes the Lord can have you to where you might just be down on your very, very last, to where, the Lord requires of you to be faithful and to, know that he is, and just to have faith and trust in whatever situation that you find yourself in, and the Lord's going to make a way for you to get through it. All right. That builds character. It builds integrity, and it ultimately builds up your faith and your virtue in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. And that's one thing that a lot of these other Israelite groups and that jerk off Deacon Asaph, was trying to cuss us out and deride us for, being faith-based, faith-based Israelites, and not pushing this whole worldly mentality and godliness is gain and building up, having buildings and flashy garments and all this worldly shit. That's not how the true men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai are going to be. Look at John the Baptist, man. He was in the wilderness. He was, out in the wilderness doing his ministry. You've always had the true prophets of the men of the Lord were not men in flashy, gay clothing and living high off the hog and, giving you this worldly persona that a lot of these false Israelite groups are coming with. All right. If you come to serve the Lord, like I'm going to read here, hey, prepare thy soul for temptation, man. Hey, it comes with the territory. It's a prerequisite of the sufferings that we got to be joined with Yahweh Shai, who is the author and the finisher of our faith. Look at Yahweh Shai, man. He was rich but became poor. All right. He didn't have a place to lay his head down. He wasn't living in this grandiose, flashy, high roller status like the scribes and the Pharisees. He was a man of the people. He was living like, regular men, and that's the stead that we want to be in. So I wanted to just get into a couple of precepts dealing with that. So the first one is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thine heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." You see, and that's what comes with this truth. All right. You got to constantly endure, in which that word endure means to make hard. Now, if we was living, came into this truth to live luxurious, pampered, catered to lives, then what the hell would you have to endure? All right. Everything would be handed to you. Everything would be, on easy street. You know, you wouldn't be out there on the highways and the byways. You wouldn't be, constantly being tested and tried, and demons fucking with your head, telling you you're not in the truth. Constant, people coming against you in the world, being talked about, living paycheck to paycheck, always just having just enough to get by. These are the things that come with serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You have to be like a soldier of the Lord. All right. It says, verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. So the Lord is telling you here, when you're serving the Lord, you're going to be in a lower estate more than you're going to be in a higher estate. Now, like I said, the Lord has balance. There's going to be times when you're going to have a little bit more. You might have a little bit extra, but a lot of the times you're going to be brought into a low estate because, hey, the Lord is constantly building our character. He's putting us in situations, to see if we truly believe in him. It's not to degrade you. It's not to destroy you. But, you have to be in that position in order to be able to come familiar with rising up from a lower estate than constantly being on some type of high level, because there's no balance in that. All right. Only way you can build somebody up is you got to break them down. You see? And that's why you catch the hell that you catch in this truth. That's why you're constantly being put in situations to be tempted, is because the Lord is, refining you. He's building you up, making you stronger, putting you in a position to where, your faith can be fully, secure. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So there you see, you serving the Lord. You're not going to be living this luxurious, high flying, private jet flying, being catered to, being put on some type of pedestal. You're going to constantly be in the furnace of adversity. It says, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. See, trust in him. Don't trust in riches and in money and these things of the world. We got to trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai no matter what state that we're in. You see, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? And you got a lot of our ancient forefathers who was put in some very hellacious situations, who was, facing their so-called hour of temptation of their day. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Abraham, Moses, all of our different forefathers, all the different men of the Lord were all put in particular situations that were not favorable, but it it came to a situation to where their faith was ultimately tested. Look at King David before he became fully a ruler in Israel. Look at all the hell he was catching, living in caves, on the run. Him and his men, weren't the most favorable people, but what? Through all of that, they never stopped believing and trusting in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, no matter what their situation was. I see. It says, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? See, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction. You see, but the Lord is going to put you in very afflicted situations. He's going to put you in bad, what seems like, bad places, but it's all for you to, not lose faith and trust that, hey, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, no matter what my situation is with me. He's not going to forsake me. But as long as you fear and you're obedient and you're doing what's necessary in his sight, the Lord is going to always come through, man. All right. And let me get this real fast, man. All right. And this is 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Now, did they receive these honors and everlasting name from a position of from some high position of just constantly never having to go through anything, always being, on the being put on a pedestal, living, having their life on easy streak. Everything's just, comfortable. There was never any afflictions, any, being tried in the fire. It says, was not Abraham found faithful in temptation? And was it imputed unto him for righteousness? You see? So, that's how you build yourself up, man. That's how you prove yourself to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is when you're in these different situations of temptation and you remain faithful to him. Hey, the Lord looks highly favorably upon that. All right. It says Joseph in the time of his distress kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt. You see? Phinehas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Yahushai, for fulfilling, that's talking about Joseph, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Ananias, Azariah, and Mizrael, by believing were saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions. You see? And in all these dire situations that there was in, their faith and their fear and obedience to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, through all these forms of temptation, hey, their reward didn't fail. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai came through. You see, and it's the same for us in these times, man. So you can't be in this mind frame of, oh yeah, I'm in the truth. I know the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I'm trying to do right. That don't just mean that your life is going to just turn always for the better, and you're always going to be in some type of luxurious and pampered and, delicate type of situation. No, the Lord's going to try you. He's going to put you in particular situations. He's going to see what your character is made of. He's going to put you in these different forms of temptation to see if you're going to hold up, to see if you're going to, bitch out and make an excuse and, blame something else or blame somebody or blame the elders or blame old camp members or blame, your mistreatment of this world or the bitterness that comes with understanding this truth as an excuse for you, to fall away and to not trust or nor believe anymore. And we got a lot of examples of guys that came into this truth when the Lord put the fire to them. Hey, they couldn't take it, and they found a way to justify them not wanting to deal with the temptation and the chastisement that comes with serving Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So therefore, they're not going to be rewarded, man. It says, it says 61, and thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he's returned into his dust, and his thought is come to nothing. You see? Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it ye shall obtain glory. You see? And this is what the Maccabees' father was telling them before, they had to, before he passed and he set them in order, and they had to go on all those different wars with the Greeks, But the point being is that it's only going to be through temptation and our obedience and all hell and these lowest states and these different, battles and ailments that we're fighting and that we're remaining obedient to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is how we're going to receive the glory and be rewarded and be found favorable in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And you have to understand that it's not always going to be peaches and cream, man. You're not always going to be, you're not always going to be up. Sometimes you're going to be down. Sometimes you're going to be in the middle. Sometimes you're going to feel depressed. Sometimes things are not going to be going your way. Sometimes, it seems like everything, you're going to be sick. You're going to be not feeling well. You're just going to feel like ain't nothing going right at a lot of times in this truth. But your obedience and your faith is still going to be required. And know that the Lord is always going to make a way for you to come out You know, this is God's provision. Philippians 4:10. It says, "But I rejoice in the Lord greatly, that now at the last your care of me has flourished again, wherein you were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity." And here's the point: not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am to therewith be content. Because there were times when the Apostle Paul was, asking for help, where he wasn't in the most favorable situations, where he was, felt low as hell, or in some of the worst conditions, being locked in prison, being, gangsayed and lied on by countrymen, having to flee out of cities and towns for his life, got stoned, got stoned to death. He caught all type of hell and all type of distresses, but he never turned his back on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai through all of his temptations, man. He remained faithful. And we got to be in that same spirit. It says, "Now that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content," man. You see, you got to be in content in whatever situation that the Lord has you in, because you have to understand that you're not in that situation or in that place for no reason at all. Everything serves a purpose. You're in that position because maybe something needs to be purged out of you, some type of impurity that's in you. The Lord will have you in a situation so that whatever that is can be dealt with, and that you can come out on the other end more fortified, more stronger, more equipped with the necessary, tools you'll need when you're faced with those particular situations. It says, verse 12, I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. And comes with serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 13, I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengtheneth me. Now I'm going to read this in the NLT. All right. This is Philippians chapter 4, verse. I'm gonna start here. 11. It says, not that I was ever in need, for I have learned to be content with whatever I have. I know how to live on almost nothing, or with everything. You see, and like I said, sometimes that happens, and it's true. Sometimes the Lord will have you up. Sometimes you'll have a little bit extra. You might have extra money. You might have extra, particular things more than you usually would have. You see, but it says, but sometimes, the Lord will have you, you might have your basic, but sometimes the Lord might have you living under under your basic, but it still doesn't matter. It's going to be what it's going to be. It says, I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or a little. For I can do everything through Hamashiach, who gives me strength. And, and you got a lot of these Israelite groups out here who'll call you a bum, who'll call you dusty, who'll call you whack because you're not living according to the standard of the standard of the world. You're not, driving a particular car. You're not living in a big fancy house. You're not out here jet setting and doing this and doing that and presenting all of these worldly, carnal particular possessions, But none of that shit matters at the end of the day. Nothing in this society matters because it's all going to be destroyed any fucking way. So why the hell should we be in the spirit of trying to have and stack and have all of this great possessions and all of the thing that this world deems as you being successful, when everything that these people think is successful in this society is going to ultimately be destroyed any fucking way. The only thing in the minds of the elect that should, the only thing that's part of the true men of the Lord that we see as successful is ultimately serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and getting upon those chariots, man. We know that when we leave this place, we ain't taking nothing with us into the kingdom of heaven except our spirits, man. We ain't taking these houses or how many shoes, the clothes you got on your back, the house and all these cars and your investments and stocks and all this bullshit of the world. Ain't none of this. We ain't leaving with none of this shit here. The only thing we trying to leave with is our spirit up in the chariots and to be changed and receive salvation from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So none of this shit really here matters. It matters at the moment because, we need what we need to survive. Yeah, we need an apartment. We need a job. But When all is said and done, the hell with all of this shit here, man. All right, we ain't taking none of it with us. So therefore, we shouldn't have that much attachment to it. Now, of course, you got to maintain yourselves here in this society, but that's pretty much all that we pretty much need. Those of us who are in the right spirit and know what this being and this truth and being involved in it is really all about. Hey, just give us our daily bread and what we need to get by and to survive here until we no longer have to be here. All right. Hey, what it say? We can do all things through Hamashiach who strengthen us, man. So the hell with everything else, you know? All right, let me get this. 2 Corinthians, what do I want? Yeah, this is 2 Corinthians 6:1. It says, we then as workers together with him beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of the Most High in vain. You see, and that's what we really need is this grace period from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Hey, this world don't offer you anything of that value. This world didn't, nothing in this world didn't sacrifice itself for you, but Yahweh Shem Yahushai did. And what he has given us is a great grace period to where as long as we, walk in it, hey, we're going to be all right. We're going to receive every single thing that comes along with that grace period, man. That's going to get us through and keep us rooted and grounded so that, hey, Lord willing, when all is said and done, we're going to be beamed up and receive salvation. It says, for he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation, I have succored thee. See, and that's what we're looking for. This is what we're ultimately looking to receive. This is the reward we're trying to get, is the salvation, of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. You see, and that's how we got to walk, making sure that we're walking, uprightly, doing what we got to do, not going off, not being, a liability, not causing, any offense in anything, especially not to where you offend to the point to where you cause the ministry to be blamed, walking unruly, being a nigga out in the world, not living up to the standard of, new creatures, man, could cause, this ministry to be blamed on your behalf, on your actions, on how you move, on the shit coming out of your mouth, It says, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of the Most High, and much patience and afflictions and necessities and distresses. It didn't say, in much wealth and much, comfort and all these different things. That's not, if you live in like that, then you're not really in the truth. You're really not serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because where's the temptation? Where's the afflictions? Where's all the hell you're catching, because they go hand in glove with being a true servant of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, in stripes and imprisonments and tumults and labors and watchings and fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Spirit, by love unfeigned, by the word of truth, by the power of the Most High, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil reports and good reports. And don't we receive these things, starting with the elders and the apostles and the men of great millstone? Are not we evilly reported on? Now, some people report good on us. More people report evil upon us, man. Some of us, some of us get dishonored. It says, as deceivers, and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold, we live, as chastened and not killed, you see, as sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor, IUIC, Nate, the bishop, what the brother call him, Elder Malcolm, Bishop Slander, as poor yet making many rich, you see, and that's what we're out here doing. And how are we making many rich? By giving them this precious jewels and riches as this truth. Giving them this truth, giving them the proper date breakdowns, going into prophecy, setting the rightful examples for those that are following us. We're making them rich, not in a carnal sense, but spiritually being rich. And then, once we receive the reward and we're being up into the chariots and in the kingdom, then we'll be physically rich, man. But as far as trying to, have this high profile type of ministry and doing shit like the IUIC and the Sakari, talking about making all this money and being profitable and Talking about the apostles are jealous because basically because you niggas is making all of this money by selling merchandise, selling prayers, selling fringes, making merchandise of this truth. Ain't nobody jealous of you niggas by doing that, man. Because that shit's it's all reckless and it's all wickedness, man. You know? Only reason you guys get cussed out and we get on you guys is because you're going off in the doctrine, man. Amongst, that's the main thing. And you going off, making all this merchandise and being prophets, pushing this mind frame that in order for you to have progress, you got to get down with Esau's paperwork and all this other carnal bullshit. That don't mean nothing in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Now I mean sight in the people of this world, because ultimately that's who you niggas are trying to impress. Y'all trying to keep up with the Joneses. Y'all want the fame and the acclaim of this world, and y'all can have it. Hey, we want to be found, well pleasing in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And even if that means being the most hated group, being slandered, being lied on, being called bums, hey, we'll take that, man. All right, because we know, hey, if Yahweh Shai was here, y'all would be treating him the same way. So we're in good company, all right? It says, as sorrowful, yet always rejoicing, as poor, yet making many rich, as having nothing, and yet possessing all things. And for you niggas, it's the opposite. Yeah, you possess all these worldly things, but really you have absolutely nothing in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. And guess what? The true men of the Lord, we possess all things. And we're going to physically possess all things. All right? And you niggas, you're going to, woe unto you that laugh now, but you're going to cry and weep when it's all said and done, man. All right? Did I have anything else in here, man? Yeah, let me get this and I'm going to close it out. This is Hebrews verse 12, verse 4, and it says, a father's discipline. It says, and ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourges every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, you see, so you have to endure. Like I said, to be made hard, man. The Most High dealeth with you as with son. Yeah, because the Lord don't want no punk ass, soft ass, baby soft hands, pedicured, pampered sons, man. Hey, the Lord is a man of war. He wants his true sons to be battle tested, to be hardened, to be men that can endure, men that can take a punch, man. Not some prissy, high-minded, soft brew. It says, it says, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. All right. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall not we much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Right, be under subjection. For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. No chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. You see, and we don't have no problem with that. We understand this is part of the job description. So we can't be all thrown off or being all, discombobulated because you see these prospering, worldly 501c3 Christian Israelite niggas talking all this shit against us. Hey, it's supposed to be that way. They're supposed to talk down upon the true men of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. And it's all good. It is what it's going to be. We got to continue to endure. Hey, stay in the spirit. Keep following the lead that the elders and the apostles have set down for us to follow, man, because they got us in a very good position. Hey, they're great spiritual fathers, great leaders, and they are the true leaders and teachers of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So let's continue to follow their lead, stay strong, amen, just keep pushing. Lord willing, we'll be part of that elect. Lord willing, we'll be you know, uh, you know, found to be the true sons of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in these days to come, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. To the next one, shalom.